You're a little early. Welcome to our Pub Meeple Top 5 Games of All Time 2016 edition. This year we used our new ranking engine that on our website. You can go check that out to make our top 10 list. And this is our consensus top 5 using an ultra special, super binarific mathematical formula that's top secret. And to introduce our first game, we have the Brian Squareds.
Hey guys, what do we have here? Well, you probably recognize this game. This is Star Wars Rebellion. It's our number 5. Have to be my personal number 1. And why, you ask, was it my number 1 and why is it our number 5? Well, to put it very simply, if you like Star Wars and you like board games, this game is Star Wars in a box. So if you like that, you should pick it up.
Yeah,
it's
so
great.
Brian hollered at me one night and said we need to play this game, and I was a little apprehensive. It's a big game with lots of pieces, and I knew it was going to be like a 3-hour or something game, but it was worth it. Even though it's so big, once you get playing, you get so immersed into it, and it's not too bad. Brian explained it like it's a worker placement game.
Yeah.
When you explain it that way, like your little leaders are worker placement, it made it real easy to like digest for a first time player. So we really like this game. Star Wars in a Box, our number 5.
Number 5.
For our number 4, we're going to head over here where I have Shucky Doo. What is our number 4 here?
This is Takeoko. This was last year's number 1, and as a spoiler, it dropped 1 spot for this year. You'll find out what that is next year, my number 1. But this game is an amazing game. It's a good family-light game. Almost kind of that's a heavy, maybe, I don't know, is it heavy?
Yeah.
It's kind of a heavier worker placement. You could consider this a light worker placement where you get to have your own little action board that nobody interferes with or anything like that. But what the interference that's fun is on the board itself. It's a pattern building game, and you're set collecting based on the board itself instead of actual cards in your hand.
This is actually a favorite for my family, so this is one that we get out of my family a lot. I've taught new gamers, but it's not one that loses its fun over time. Like we still enjoy it even as heavier gamers, so highly recommend Takeoko.
Yeah, and aesthetically it's beautiful. It's very cartoony, which also invites the family. Kids love it. So that's Takeoko, our number 4.
All right, so for number 3, we're gonna head over to Gary, who's filming. Gary? All right, you're good.
Well, over here we have our number 3 game, which was actually the pub's number 1 game last year. Let's check out Istanbul.
Hey Gary, come sit down. Talk about
All
Istanbul.
right, yes sir, Istanbul.
So, Istanbul, another kind of light worker placement game. This game is a really interesting take on it. It's got these little guys here that you actually, it's kind of got some spatial relation to the movement. You have to go back and pick up your guys. It's a really fun, really light, easy to teach. What do you think, Gary?
Well, the game's kind of light, on the lighter side. The thing I like about it is I can teach it to newer gamers or people that don't really want something as deep as some of the other games on our list. But yeah, except for Shuck, we're not going to play.
Behave!
But it's still got enough depth and strategy that, like, if you get a couple, rubies and like lots of like jewelry and cloth and spices and fruit, but it's still got enough that you can kind of sink your teeth into it if you've got a group of gamers around the table.
So there you go. All right, Istanbul.
And here for our 4th game, our number 4, is one of my favorite games and one of Shuck's as well. I believe it was your number 3, correct, Shuck?
Yeah.
All right, it's my number 1 on the list. So Agricola, or Misery Farm, or Feed My People, or Agricola for some people. So what are your thoughts on Agricola?
The thing I like most about this game is it's a little thinky, and sometimes thinky games are good. Beware of analysis paralysis with too many players, but it's still a great game. My favorite thing though is the theme. This game incorporates theme with the mechanisms so well. Probably one of the best merging of those two of all the games that I have.
And it always surprises me. You'll sometimes see people like on Board Game Geek will say that they don't get the theme. I just don't understand that.
The theme works so well. I mean, it really does.
For me, you mentioned it was tight. I really like that. The game is kind of tough. It can be stressful in a fun way. And I think that's why I like it so much is it's just so tight. It's so well designed, and every time I play it, I remember why I love it so much and why it's at the top of my list.
Indeed. And now a game that has definitely lived up to the hype, if you haven't seen our video from last year, or this year actually, would be Scythe.
Ah,
Scythe.
How'd you get there?
I don't know.
Skype.
I bet you guys recognize this game. I mean, who doesn't recognize this game? So Scythe is the pub's #1 game.
Sorry.
I want to be clear. Hey.
Are we
Calm
out?
down. I want to be clear. This is not any of our individual #1s, but using the complex mathematical algorithm that we did, where this game was, and in our individual list, it ended up being our #1.
Yes.
So, real quick, I mean, one of the things I love about this game is it blends the kind of the Euro mechanisms of resource management and worker placement, and with the Ameritrash war and battle. But not so much war and battle as you might expect, given these really cool little mechs and stuff. But my absolute favorite thing about this game is the popularity track, and how most 4X games don't take into consideration the people of the land that you're conquering. And this game absolutely does. You have to be very careful about where and when you fight, otherwise you might make some people mad.
Haven't had probably as many plays as I've seen other people have online, of course, as much as we get to game. But considering how much we do game and how many different games we play, I feel like I've had several games of this, and it's different every time. So it hasn't been we haven't figured out the end-all strategy yet. I feel like it's deep enough where we can, several paths to victory, and I think it's a legitimate strategy game, as well as all the other kind of mechanics, which you were kind of.
Yeah, I said last time my favorite part about this was the board and the interaction between the give and take aspect of I want this and so I get this. That's still my favorite part. It really is just very well designed. It's seamless. It's smooth.
It feels really good.
Well, moving the little
does.
tableau around, like pushing all the switches. Oh, fun.
It's and the little divots in the board too just make it so much. It's just aesthetically great. I mean the art's are fantastic, but that's still my favorite part. Just the board itself, and you talked about the variety. The boards mix and match and give you different strategies that you can try to go for, and maybe give you a little bit of a guide and a push in a certain direction.
Yeah, definitely think this one has a lot of good play.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for our 2016 top 5. We've had a great 2016, had a good time. If you want a little more information or read some more thoughts on all these games that we featured, if you go to our website, www.pubmeeple.com.
Pubmeeple.com?
Behave. And, all right. Well, we'll see you guys in 2017. We have some good plans for next year, and hope you guys have a happy holidays.